My name is Chris Knobloch. Now, that's probably not a name you've heard before, but it's mine. Now, here's a list of names you probably have heard before. Kermit the Frog, Lamb Chop, Charlie McCarthy, Daniel Striped Tiger, Alf, or maybe going way back now, Punch and Judy. Now, I could go on, but chances are you've probably heard of at least one, maybe all of the names on that list. They are all puppets. Now, puppetry is an ancient art form, and it carries many different varieties: stage puppetry and shadow puppetry, ventriloquism, marionettes. And it often fuses together entertainment and education in a way that makes it seem almost like it belongs as a subset of magic. Now, in addition to being a fantastic form of communication over many different cultures and hundreds or even thousands of years, puppetry has shown itself to be highly adaptable in the modern era. Punch and Judy shows adapted over 300 plus years, becoming more and more portable, which broadened their audience. When television became the new medium of education and entertainment, puppetry was quick to make its inclusion. Even before TVs were in every home, puppetry was not absent when Edgar Bergen and his ventriloquist dummy Charlie McCarthy secured a popular place in radio. Now, when I was a small boy, I was always on the go. I was one of those little boys. I never sat still, unless it was for one solid hour. Oh, my mother loved this hour. When I would sit unmoving, glued to Big Bird and Bert and Ernie and Cookie Monster and Grover on Sesame Street. If you were to do a simple internet search of television shows that include puppetry, this long list comes up, including the shows I've already mentioned. But what might surprise you even more is the percentage, and it's a big one, a percentage of those shows that aren't targeted toward children, but rather toward adults. So now, why is that? What is it about puppetry that is so fascinating? Is it because they're just unique, or they're funny, or they're colorful, or whimsical? Or is it something deeper? What is the power that puppets seem to possess? Over the past 20 plus years, I've traveled alongside puppets, doing shows primarily for children in schools and camps and churches and community events. And in this bag is one of those puppets. Now, before I bring him out, I want to acknowledge that I see this group is a highly sophisticated group of people. You have all come here to think thoughts, and you have your own skill sets. So I'm not going to try and sugarcoat the realities of the puppet in this bag. As puppets go, he is not very big, he is not fancy, he's not even that attractive. I picked him up at a craft show about 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago. He's one of the first puppets I ever worked with. He's a monkey, and his name is Oliver. Now, you see, not much to look at. But I like to take his arms and put them around my neck like that, and then I'll just take his feet and tuck them in my pockets like this, and I'll just tuck my hand just here. And look, on the lake! Where are we? Well, Oliver, we are at this TEDx event.
TED? Like a TED Talk?
A real TED Talk? That's right. And these are all the people who have come to hear the talk, and also, of course, the other presenters. Oh, my goodness. How do you do? My name is Oliver, and I am an Ivy League graduate. You are not either an Ivy League graduate. I am so too, an Ivy League graduate. I graduated Ivy League when I was 6. How were you an Ivy League graduate when you were 6? Well, back at home in the jungle, when you turn 6, you graduate from swinging on ivy to swinging on kudzu vines. What are we doing here? Well, we were asked to come and participate. Oh, of course we were. Today, I would like to just take a moment of your time to talk about the rise and fall of the Roman Empire due to the unsustainable cost of banana imports. Oliver, nobody ever suggested that the cost of banana imports caused the fall of the Roman Empire. I know, it's a new idea. That's why it makes such a great TED Talk. No. This is not going at all like I thought it might. I think maybe I better put you back in the bag. No, don't you dare. Don't you put me. You do that. He does this to me every time. Every time I say one little thing that you don't like, it's back in the bag for all other. Well, I don't mean it. You know what? How about we talk about monkey equality for a minute, huh? Yeah. How about we talk about how Ted is getting a little big for his britches, huh? What, Ted? Yeah, Ted, I know what's going on. I'm sick of the cloak and dagger game. Some washed-up hack named Ted sitting in his parents' basement trying to pull the strings of the world. When's the last time you heard Ted talk about the plight of the Americanized monkey, huh? Never. That's when, and I've had it up to here. You know what? What do I want? Freedom! When do I want? All right. I think we've had enough of that. Now, you see, Oliver is like any other puppet. He's a projection. With him, I can split off a little piece of my personality and put it into him and display it in a way that is safe, more or less. Now, that's probably not a new thought to you. But projection in puppetry actually happens in 2 different ways. The puppeteer does take a piece of himself, his thoughts and his feelings, and projects it through the puppet, but then the observer, watching, begins to internally project back onto the puppet. It's a resonance that happens with what you see and hear. And if not with Oliver, you might resonate with another puppet. But my puppets can only project something that is already a part of me. With Oliver, I can exhibit anger or stubbornness or pig-headedness or exuberance or excitement. And that projection can be powerful. So if I were to display anger, just me, myself, to a group of children, they wouldn't resonate with that. That would scare them. But with Oliver, I can do that. And when they watch him and they see him being angry, even if he's being funny, they begin to internally project back onto him some of their own angry feelings or frustrated feelings or feelings of excitement or exuberance. And in that magic moment is an opportunity for learning and growth. Now, that's one part of the power of puppetry. All right, Chris, I hear you say, you've shown a light on the very strange workings of the mind of a puppeteer and the people that watch them, but that has nothing to do with me. Puppets don't have any bearing in my life. Well, some puppets are more iconic or recognizable than others. If I were to say marionettes, perhaps you would think of The Sound of Music. If I were to say shadow puppets, it might conjure up in your mind a picture of that tale of the Deathly Hallows in the Harry Potter movies, where they used some form of shadow puppetry. But some of the most common and pervasive puppets are also some of the most subtle and powerful. Do you have a social media presence? If you do, you may be a puppeteer and you don't even know it. Do you ever repost an article or maybe make a comment towards someone, maybe anonymously, that you wouldn't say right to their face, but you do it there because, well, it feels safer? Or maybe you think, well, I just write better than I talk. Well, that social media presence has become your puppet. How about your car? When you're driving and someone cuts you off, do you shake a fist and yell something that you wouldn't yell if it wasn't for the 2,000 pounds of machinery between you? Well, that car has become your puppet. The fact is that your words and your actions, even when done anonymously, they still came from inside you. You are still the one on display through your projection, even if nobody ever knows the puppeteer's name. Now, those projections can be good or bad. They can reflect inward realities or ambitions. A puppet is an imperfect mirror, but it is an indicator of our innermost thoughts and feelings, our hopes, and our potential. And yet, we ourselves are not puppets. The difference between me and Oliver is that he has no choice. I do. I'm a person. I'm a human being. My gift is my ability to relate, to build relationships, to love. It's my free will. My curse is how I sometimes choose to use it. The power of puppetry is in its ability to reveal things about human nature, good or bad. Contrary to how it seems, that power is not disassociative, but is profoundly associative. The question is, how do we make use of the lessons that puppets are trying to teach us? How do we take our non-puppet selves, our wills with all their inherent flaws and potential, and subject them to a will that is better and greater than our own? Oliver, my social media presence, my car, all have great potential. But without me, they're nothing. But with me, I can express whatever I infuse into them. I can express my feelings of envy or contentment. I can demonstrate my own fears or trust. With my puppets, I can resonate with other people's worries, or I can offer them peace. I can show my own anger, or use self-control. I can demonstrate my own problems with pride, or my aspirations for humility. I can exhibit my selfishness or my joy as I allow myself to be infused. My puppets, your puppets, are projections of us, of our innermost needs, or of those needs fulfilled. Learn to see and listen to puppets and learn about yourself. In whatever form they manifest themselves, a car, a social media presence, or a monkey in a bag. That's the power of puppetry.